Thank you, Dr. Blanche. All right, so let's call to order this June 13th regular Board of Ed meeting. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Slippy chairs here. So, Dr. Blanche, it looks like we have a new incoming SHS Student Council president with us this
We do.
evening.
I don't know if we have drum roll or anything tonight, but Sebastian, if you don't mind coming up to the front, that'd be great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see you, and I'm so glad to be here as the newly elected student body president, and I'm really looking forward to reporting to you guys and working with you. But yeah, I guess I'll just jump right into it. As it pertains to student life, we had the Somers Science Research Symposium, which showcased all of science research at the high school and their projects and what the students have been working on. And as well as last week, we had our Somers Science Fair, which was for sophomore presenters presenting their proposed research. And this was a huge success, held with from over 600 students from over 36 schools across Westchester, one of the biggest fairs in the region, and that will also be talked about later in the evening. For seniors, we had a lot going on. We had senior sports awards, senior convocation, senior trip to Six Flags, and senior sunset, all of which were a lot of fun. I heard from all the seniors, as well as prom, which was a huge success, a lot of fun, of course. Pictures were beautiful, everything. Next week, we get to send our seniors off with graduation. We will be sad to see them go, but we get to turn into a new year, right? By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm a junior right now, and I'm a rising senior. So, yeah, we also had our yearbook distribution. Everyone got their yearbooks at the school, and we got to sign yearbooks, typical tradition, which was a lot of fun. Also last week, our Academic Challenge Club took a trip to Chicago to compete in qualifiers for a national competition, and that took place last Saturday on Zoom. It was an amazing competition, hundreds of students, and they had a great time. And then a project led by peer leader Jake Gannon. We had the senior send-off seminars, which he organized a series of workshops for seniors on practical life skills like money management and automobile care. For the arts, we had our spring band and guitar concert last week, which was an amazing culmination of beautiful work from our guitar and band students. It was really great to watch. We also had our fashion, textile, and arts club put on their fashion show last Monday, which was just great to see all the different dresses and fashion. Before Memorial break, we had our coffee house, which is where students from any grade level from all over the school get to perform songs. We have coffee, baked goods. It's a great event. We usually hold it twice a year, so next year I highly recommend going. But yeah, it was wonderful. Students got to perform. We had many bands, a lot of singers, and a lot of musicians, so that was wonderful. Student council, we had our elections, which we had several very competitive elections, and they were amazing, and we have a good, solid student council, which I'm so excited to help lead. And then also, just as a fun little thing to add, we have our Stuco Super Happy Fun Time Day coming up, which is where we just go outside and have fun, have some pizza. That's gonna happen next week. Yeah, we just get to decompress after exams. It's wonderful. And to end it off with academics, right, we have finals and regents taking place over the next couple of weeks, which students are gearing up for. I have my English exam tomorrow, which I'm excited for. Also, which was great, our technology and music class, a new class started by one of our music teachers, Mr. Russo, created a playlist to help with studying. Like, they sent out a survey and got students' input on what type of music they listen to, and he had the students create a whole playlist for sleep and study that were all student-produced music and student-produced beats, which it was wonderful to listen to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Students are excited for summer, and we're excited to be back in September. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Congratulations, Sebastian. We look forward to hearing from you next year. So, folks, we have the first of 2 public comment sessions coming up now. Any members of the community who have comments that are specifically related to agenda items are invited to come up to the podium and share their comments. But I think we're all here for the main event, right? So, Dr. Blanche, I think that I turn it over to you again for the special recognitions.
Yes, we'll go ahead and start student celebrations here tonight with our first-year athletic director, Mr. Mark Haddam. Mr. Haddam.
Thank you, Dr. B. Sebastian, you will do great tomorrow, Sebastian. Good luck. I'm going to get rolling. I know we have a lot to get through tonight. Just my own comments, seeing our coaches and our student athletes up there reminds me why I'm so lucky to be the AD here, and we have a great group that we're going to honor tonight. So thank you to all of you that came out. I'm going to go in a little disjointed order tonight. First, we have some teams, and every single team in the spring season received a Scholar Athlete Team Award, so that's a great accomplishment. Not here, but we will honor our baseball, our golf, our boys lacrosse, our girls flag football, and got one more back here, I apologize. Our girls lacrosse program, so congrats to those teams. Thank you. One of my funnest memories of this season came from our girls softball program. They won their league title for the first time. I'm going to try to get this right in 41 or 42 years, but I think we could all agree it was quite an accomplishment. On top of that, our new coach, Teresa Ritchie, won Coach of the Year. We're very happy for you, Coach, and our 2 wonderful captains that are going. Julia's headed to Indiana, and Krista's headed to Scranton. 2 wonderful captains. Congratulations on a great season. So I'll ask Teresa and her captains to come up. Also won the Scholar Athlete Team Award, and again, for the first time in 40-something years, presenting a softball team with the league champion certificate. So congratulations, guys. Girls lacrosse, I believe, is our boys tennis team, not here, also won the Scholar Athlete Team Award, and our girls lacrosse team, also not here. We would like to honor them with league champions. We had a few individual accomplishments that I'd like to speak on. Anytime you hear the word All-American in a sentence is very impressive. We have 2 young ladies that made All-American and academic All-American teams for lacrosse. One is going to play in Yale, and one's only a junior, not here tonight, but we'd like to honor Lauren McCartan and Molly Fink. And also we'd like to honor All-American girls lacrosse Tegan Ryan. This guy's become a regular at our award ceremony with his captains, Connor Phillips, Mason Phillips, Coach Lacko, and Taro's back there, I believe. Come on up, boys track for Somers Senior High School. And not only did our boys track win a league championship, they won the Class B Westchester County Championship this year. Congratulations. Sir, here you go. I'll give you those. Yeah.
Congrats. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'll ask our girls lacrosse contingent to all come up here with Coach Veg, and ladies, come on up and I'll talk about you briefly. Did I say girls lacrosse? I did, right? I meant girls track, excuse me. I'm still on the girls track, led by Coach Veg. So this is a pretty big pile here, and these ladies certainly deserve it. So first they won the, wait, go, let me honor you first. Let me honor you. Come back. They're going.
Very fast.
You are a fast runner.
So when you come in sixth in New York State, this is why they don't stop moving. Come on back, ladies. Come on back. So I'll actually start with how I was going to finish, and how I was going to finish is this group is so much fun and such a delight. Just they're carefree and they love what they do, and as you can see, they just like to go shake hands for no reason. So let me honor you, please, now. First, they won their Scholar Athlete Team Award. They won another league championship, so congratulations on that. Our 4x100 team, sectional champions, and set a school record, which was in place for a very long time. I'd like to honor the members of that team: Isabella Milojevic, Lindsay Gill, Haley Donovan, and Kira Cleary. My last sporting event this year that I attended up in Middletown on Friday was probably my favorite. I got a chance to sit with the coaches, and then I got a chance to watch our 4x400 team run. The mental toughness to sit there all day and then get up and perform for 4 minutes is incredible. And what says team, what we all hope for is watching you guys warm up and the joy that you took warming up together and running with each other, and you could see the bond and the friendships are so special. There were 4 ladies that ran. I do want to also honor a 5th member of that team, Lindsay Gill, who could not run that day. But Lindsay, I know you were a very integral part of that team that year, so congratulations, along with Isabella Milojevic, Chelsea Hewitt, Haley Donovan, Kira Cleary, and coming in 6th in New York State. Congratulations, ladies. And now you can go shake hands, and thank you everybody for your time. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Good job.
Congrats. Congratulations. Times 2, congratulations. Well done.
Double great job. Double great
Again,
job.
congratulations. That's great.
All right, so thank you very much, Mr. Haddam. So next, we're going to go ahead and shift to some of our our academic pieces here. So Ms. Turner here is our Director of Elementary. We'll go ahead and start.
And thank you. To continue our recognitions tonight, I'm very pleased to have Mrs. Noelle Allen join us to help us recognize the accomplishments of our Destination Imagination team. So come on down, Noelle. Somers has had some really strong participation in the DI program, and it's a great program, a great experience for our students to be involved, to build upon their critical thinking, their creative thinking, and their problem-solving skills. So thank you so much, Noelle, for recognizing them tonight.
Thank you. Should I come down now? Sure. I could call them down. Oh, it's so nice to be here. I've been doing DI since it started, and it's been such a wonderful thing to watch the kids who grow up and come back to me and say, I learned how to do this because of the teamwork, because of learning the skills. Most of you probably don't even know what DI is. Destination Imagination is a challenge for kids from kindergarten through high school. They even have some university level. And there are teams of 7 who have a choice of 6 or 7 challenges. And once they've chosen that, they have to solve it by themselves. There's a parent there, a team manager, who'll buy them the things that they need. But the kids have to figure it out. And it's just amazing. The first time I saw DI in competition, I didn't believe the kids did it. I said, oh no, the parents must have told them how to do that because they couldn't have done that. So we've had a wonderful 23 years. This is the 23rd year of Destination Imagination. And right now in Somers, we have a core of students who have come back, and their team managers, who happen to be their parents, have done a wonderful job. We have 2 teams, one at Primrose and one at SIS. And there's only, is it 4 or 5 families involved in both teams, which 7 and 6, because they each have a child on both teams. So I would like, Cameron's going to come down and just say a word about what her team did. And actually, we're going to call everybody down to come line up here, because these are this is Cameron McClure, who is the team manager of Yummily Never Ever this year. And her team members, in fact, maybe you will do that part. And I guess what I wanted to say is, number one, thank you to these 3, including Xiao Fei. Xiao Fei, I think you should be down here as well. Xiao Fei started doing DI, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, and told me she was going to do it every year forever. And here she is. So this is Xiao Fei Fan, Joe McCormick, and Cameron McClure, who were the team managers this year of the 2 teams that competed and did a wonderful job. Cameron, would you tell us what your experience was this year?
Yeah, sure. Xiao Fei got me into this. She said, no, you don't have to be a team manager. I just want to have the meetings at your house. And that's how I got sucked in. That was, what, like 6 years ago. Anyways, I just wrote something down. I'm so happy to be here and publicly congratulate the Somers 5th grade DI team and the Primrose team. The 5th grade team came in 2nd place out of 6 teams in their central challenge, but I'm really most proud of how at that tournament they gained the confidence and the assertiveness to advocate for themselves and their ideas at the tournament. Their challenge was really wacky and not everyone understood, but they made sure it was understood, so that was really sweet. Anyways, the true challenge of DI, I think it's not writing the script or building the props, even though that's really challenging. It's resolving conflict between 6 of your peers. This year, deciding on roles for the team was really challenging, but I'm so proud they eventually found a solution that everyone could live with, and they all really shined in their very different roles. So they did the Fine Arts Challenge, which was totally new for them. Previously, they did an Engineering Challenge, and before that, the Improv Challenge, so they jump around. They had to create an 8-minute performance that flipped a well-known story, and they chose to retell Cinderella from the point of view of Prince Charming, though he wasn't so charming in their story. It was a really fun year. All 7 team members were totally engaged in creating this story. I've never seen them have so much fun. They also made 2 incredibly large periactoi. I think they're 6 feet tall. Still in my garage, if anyone wants to take care of that. But these allow you to do really fast scene changes, sometimes alarmingly fast, between a royal ballroom, the dining room, and the dungeon, which by the end of the play was full of princesses. So they learned the last important life lesson they learned was not all of the judges connected with their sense of humor. Sometimes you've got an inside joke, and no matter how clever or hilarious it is to you, it can fall flat with that wider audience. So, Yummy Oats, looking at you. Anyways, they were incredible, and I can't wait to see what they do next year. So, congratulations. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, the 5th grade team, the team members were Alon Lyons. Oh, when I call your name, go shake the hands. Alon Lyons, Julie Genovese, Marco Avila, Laurel Knapp, Felicity McCormick, Illy Manteau is not here tonight, and Alice Orzachowski. I'm sorry, Alice Orzachowski. I'm not sure why I said Elise.
I'm telling you.
Very briefly, I managed the Primrose team, 1st and 2nd graders, coming up with an 8-minute story completely on their own, making sets and costumes. We had a family of dragons finding their missing relatives on the moon. It was wonderful. The Primrose team, not here today, is Mason Dawson, but we have Dominic Genovese, Phoebe Knapp, Finn Lyons, Peter McCormick, and Hugo Orzachowski. Thank you.
So next year, we'll let you know when the regional tournament is, and maybe you can come watch. Thank you.
Tonight I have the pleasure of honoring our science research students who earned awards this year. Their advisor, their teacher, Bill Malia, is currently with 7 of them at the Rochester Institute of Technology as they're competing in the International Genius Olympiad because they were all finalists in that competition. So tonight we'll honor our students who won awards in those competitions. So the first, and if you're here, I know so many of you are either competing elsewhere or studying for exams, but if you are here, please do come down. So in our regional competitions, Westchester Science and Engineering Fair, WESF, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Taking the Pulse of the Planet Award went to Zoe Gutherman and Charles Heese. The Shelby Hancock's Memorial Award for Independent Technical Achievement went to Lauren McCartan. The Society for In Vitro Biology Award went to Sebastian Wiesa. Come on up, Sebastian. Yeah, just waiting for your... The U.S. Agency for International Development Science Champion Award was awarded to Andrew Acosta. And Kaylee Pico. The Office of Naval Research went to Nate Traver. Today's Students, Tomorrow's Engineers Award went to Timothy Lee, Mary Grace Mahoney. Community Impact Award went to Taylor Bassey. Honorable mention went to Kira Goff, Maya Shirakura, Ella Ponterio. In 4th place, Timothy Lee, Zoe Gutherman. 3rd place, Michael Aquilino, Connor Entenberg. And Grand Prize International Genius Olympiad went to Connor Entenberg. Grand Prize awards were given to Connor Entenberg, International Genius Olympiad. The New York State Science and Engineering Fair, Zoe Gutherman won an honorable mention, and Connor Entenberg, 3rd place. For the Westchester Rockland Junior Science and Humanities Symposium, Zoe Gutherman won 4th place for Earth and Environmental Science. Kira Goff won 3rd place for Animal Science. And then finally, the Somers Science Fair, which Sebastian mentioned earlier, Angie Ayubi won 1st place for Behavioral Science. Angie. Mayank Davi, 2nd place for Behavioral Science. Daniel Cho, 1st place for Biochemistry. Marin Kellogg, 3rd place, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Samuel Moskides, 2nd place, Medicine and Health. And Kaylin Garrity, 2nd place for Medicine and Health.
for the COVID and wellness piece.
Congratulations. Well done. Congrats.
And now I want to invite Mike Mano from the high school music department up to recognize some of our Somers musicians.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Mano. I teach orchestra, guitar, and music theory at Somers High School, and I'm here to recognize and celebrate some of our outstanding student musicians. First, I want to celebrate a collective achievement. NAM, or National Association of Music Merchants, named Somers Central School District a Best Community in Music Education for the 8th consecutive year. My favorite part of that is the word community, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later. But I'm also the advisor for Triumph Music Honor Society. Triumph is a nationally recognized performing arts honor society, and the Somers High School chapter has existed since 2005, but has become more active in recent years. Students are expected to earn a certain amount of points each year to maintain membership, and some of our acts of service include performing at district events such as Somers Songbook and Coffee House. Some of our members perform in our community with musical groups and productions that they've organized themselves. Other students act as peer mentors to our younger musicians at SIS and SMS, volunteering their time to provide one-on-one instruction, helping their mentees grow, and building musical connections across our school music programs. Other Triumph members serve as ushers at our district concerts, providing programs and helping our younger students prepare for their performances. So Triumph is really about service, and when I think of our students, I love that they're talented and exceptional musicians, but they give back. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge our officers by name. And if we have any Triumph members here, we would like you to stand so we can acknowledge you. Our president this year was Marissa Abramson. Our vice president was Caitlin Stellwagen. Our secretary was Rebecca Jandrasitz. Our treasurer was Andre Pasante. And our PR officers were Andrew Tutela and Emma Sledzik. Do we have any Triumph members in the audience tonight? Please stand up. Thanks, Sebastian. I should note we have over 30 Triumph members this school year, which is, I don't know if it's a record, but it's one of our higher numbers that we've had. Next, I want to acknowledge some of our students that participated in the NISMA Solo Music Festival. New York State School Music Association, or NISMA, is an organization that oversees music education in all of New York State. Every spring, there are local festivals organized for students to perform solo or small ensemble music for a rating, a score, and written feedback. Achieving a high score can mean qualifying for All-State, Area All-State, or All-County in band, orchestra, or chorus the following school year. I'd like to recognize our musicians who took on this additional challenge and especially celebrate those who earned the highest possible ratings, which, depending on which level you go for, can be outstanding or A+. So first, please stand if you participated in NISMA this year.
I think there you go.
Thank you, ladies. And we had over 40 students participate from Primrose to the high school total. And so we'd like to celebrate and recognize all of those students that participated in NISMA. And we're excited for a new year of concerts and performances and sharing music with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Finally, I want to invite up the curriculum leader for world language from Somers High School, Monica Martel, and her colleague, Melissa Golia, a world language teacher from the high school. The world language department, sorry, Monica, led by Monica and Melissa, embarked on a new challenge this year, and that was preparing students to earn the Seal of Biliteracy, which is a new opportunity from New York State. The Seal of Biliteracy is aimed to recognize high school school grads who've demonstrated a high level of proficiency in the 3 modes of communication. And this is very new. School districts are just starting to offer this opportunity. And through the guidance of Melissa and Monica and the rest of the World Language Department at the high school, we have 5 students who are graduating with the Seal of Biliteracy this year. So come on down.
Good evening, buonasera. My name is Melissa Golia.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Mónica Martel. We are the Seal of Biliteracy advisors for the Somers High School.
This evening, we would like to recognize and congratulate the first class of recipients at Somers High School of the New York State Seal of Biliteracy.
The New York State Seal of Biliteracy recognizes high school graduates who have attained a high level of proficiency in English and in one more world language.
The intent of the New York State Seal of Biliteracy is to encourage the study of languages, to identify high school graduates with language and biliteracy skills for employers, to provide universities with additional information about applicants seeking admission and placement, to prepare students with 21st century skills, to recognize the value of language instructions, and to affirm the value of diversity in a multilingual society. The 5 recipients have studied a world language for 4 years at the high school, have created portfolios of their best work in both English and their world language, and have researched and delivered presentations to our panel of advisors and teachers in both English and the world language at the intermediate, high to advanced proficiency levels.
The following 5 students have fulfilled all state requirements to earn the New York State Seal of Biliteracy for the academic school year of 2022-23. We would like to call up and recognize Andrew Acosta for Spanish, Zoya Curana for Spanish, Lydia Wilkie Olsen also for Spanish.
And then we also have David Bonato for Italian and Taylor Morrissey for Italian.
Okay, board, so we will go ahead and just go into our next piece. So we'll go ahead and shift into our retirees. That's okay, and then after our retirees, we'll go ahead and take a pause, and so the board can go ahead and meet and greet families and folks for a few minutes, then we'll get back to our regular session. So if we can go ahead and start with our retirees, and I'll surprise everybody, we'll start with Primrose. So how about that? So let's go with Primrose.
Those inside jokes.
Yeah, they always go first.
We'd like to invite our Primrose retirees to join us down at the mic. Teresa, you too. So I am so happy tonight to congratulate our retirees. The first person I'm going to speak about is Elizabeth Breslin, who retired earlier this year, leaving an indelible mark on Primrose School. Elizabeth, as a teaching assistant, is the picture of grace, joy, and caring, and we were fortunate enough to know Elizabeth for many years as she volleyed between SAS and Primrose, always going where she was needed, and most importantly, where children needed her. Quickly connecting with children, she prides herself on relationships and always letting students see each learning opportunity. Bringing her flair for the arts, she made every building, bulletin board, and classroom a more colorful and vibrant place to be. Thank you, Elizabeth. Lori Renzoni couldn't join us tonight. Lori also retired earlier this year. Lori's dedication to special education has been a hard act to follow. For countless years, she has been a steadfast member of our special education team at second grade. Her patience and kindness know no bounds. Working with both special education and general education teachers, she was always able to blend the best of both worlds to ensure student success. Thank you, Lori.
Our next retiree also was unable to be here tonight, but we'd love to honor Lou Collette. We are grateful to Lou Collette for his 4 years of service to Somers. During this time, he quickly made himself an invaluable member of our staff. While many of us will someday retire from school, Lou retired and came to Primrose School, and for that we will always be grateful. Lou is our tech guru who fixed things before we knew anything was wrong. In those days where we were Zooming way too much, we were screaming, "Where's Lou? Call Lou. Lou can fix it." He seamlessly snuck in and out of rooms before we knew it. Everything was humming again. Lou, it's your turn to put down the tech and plan your own adventure. Congratulations. So also we'd like to honor Gail Weiner, who is here with us tonight. Gail Weiner is a class act. Her fans at the We Deliver post office would even say that she's first class. Get it? All the way. No matter what assignment we ever gave Gail, Gail not only got it done, she elevated it to a place we did not imagine. Whether it was instructing children using ABA techniques, mastering second grade foundations, jumping into an integrated co-talk class, or teaming with a teacher during the days of COVID when staff divided students into 2 different rooms and taught them together, Gail jumped in willingly and brought her colleagues along for the ride. Truth. When consultants from Inclusive Schooling came to audit our inclusive school practices, Gail's work in the ICT was a standout in the report. Her laughter and her joy that she brings to the post office each and every day have made it the place to be in second grade, even if you are giving up recess. Thank you, Gail.
And last, I'm so happy to talk about Gina Sebastiano. Gina's connection to the community runs deep, and she truly found her place in kindergarten at Primrose School. My favorite story that I learned recently was that Gina and her daughter came to kindergarten together. Gina as a kindergarten teacher and her daughter as a kindergartner. When you talk about being all in every day, this is Gina. She was a pioneer in sustainability before it was in vogue and educated Primrose students and staff about the importance of recycling and about the importance of making a difference in the community and what it truly means to be a global citizen. For Gina, life is always a search for balance. She was there late every night. And it truly to search for balance in the environment, in life, and in work, and in play. She always found the balance for her students. Gina, thank you for always reminding us of what we hold dear as primary educators, connections to one another, play, and wonder. Congratulations.
Good evening. There are few people who have so dramatically affected so many families' lives in our community, yet somehow managed to fly below the radar as Teresa Rita. At one point, Teresa was the only social worker here in Somers. While the support needed for students and families has changed considerably since she began, Teresa has remained a constant with us for close to 34 years. And over the years, her work has taken her everywhere, from supporting individual students and groups of students in counseling, to connecting families to essential community and financial resources, to bringing those resources directly into people's homes. From my observations, Teresa's simple rule has been that if someone needs her, she will be there, no matter where or in what condition there is. One colleague described Teresa as a mentor and a friend and one of the most caring people she's come across. Another shared that she has a big heart and goes above and beyond, working day and night, holidays included, to help others. One noted that it has been an honor and a privilege to learn from the best. When Teresa submitted her resignation letter, even that was done with a mind towards others, noting that she still loves her job, but that it was time to give someone else a chance to start their career. Teresa, your kindness, your skill, and your selflessness will be sorely missed. But never fear, we know where to find you, and we know you'll forever be connected to our families and our community. Congratulations on a truly impactful career.
Marie and Tess, if you would come down.
Thank you, sir.
Just watch her stab my bag. Thank you. Best wishes on you. He's trying to make me fall.
I saw nothing.
I mean, I don't blame him, do you?
So good evening. We have 4 retirees for SIS, and I have 2 with me tonight. I would first like to honor Tess Campbell. Tess has dedicated over 20 years to the students of Somers Central School District. She has been an integral member of our SIS team and supported so many students throughout the years. She began her journey at Primrose, and then she came to us at SIS, and we have not let her leave yet. It is still tough to think she won't be there, but hopefully she will come and visit us and sub. Tess has moved. Throughout her years at SIS, Tess has demonstrated an unparalleled dedication to the growth and well-being of her students. Her ability to connect with teachers and work as an integral member of our team will be missed in 3rd grade. When talking to Tess about her students, it's amazing how she knows each and every child, their siblings, and what they like to do. You will often see her at baseball games and student activities cheering on her kids. Tess truly goes above and beyond to create a nurturing and inclusive environment where students feel supported and valued. One of the many ways Tess has made a lasting impact on SIS is our 3rd grade garden. During the butterfly unit, she wanted to make sure our students always had butterflies, and her 3rd graders went out and planted milkweed, so every year our butterflies will come back. As Tess embarks on a new chapter in her life, I would like to thank her for her immeasurable contributions and remind her that we always need subs and the door is always open. We are truly fortunate to have had someone as remarkable as Tess be a part of our team. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. We also have another teaching assistant tonight, Marie Brown. She left us in January, but since then she's been back at SIS, helping us with Authors Day and other events. I think I see her more now. Throughout her journey as a teaching assistant in Somers, she has left a mark on many of the students she has worked with. Her dedication and love for education have been evident in every interaction. She also started at Primrose and has supported students at SMS and SIS. At one point, she left for 3 years to go to Wappingers and then came back. She knew this was the place that she considered home. Your return was a testament to the special bond you have formed with our students and the profound impact you continue to make on their lives. The countless hours you have spent assisting in classrooms, providing one-on-one support, and helping students navigate their educational journeys has shaped their lives in immeasurable ways. Your role during COVID, supporting students in an ICT classroom in the library with desks 6 feet apart, was challenging every day. Yet you were there with encouragement and support for your students. Your genuine care and compassion have created an environment where students always felt safe to learn and grow. Your memories you have created, the lives you have touched, and the hearts you will have nurtured carry the mark of your extraordinary influence. Congratulations. You won't be missed because you're still there. And congratulations on your retirement. I'll let you two go and I'll talk about it. SIS also has Christine Vita, who's not with us tonight, who will be retiring after 30 years in 5th grade at SIS. It is impossible to think of SIS without Christine in 5th grade and without her love of Snoopy and Peanuts characters. These characters have brought joy and whimsy to the lives of her students, creating an engaging and fun-filled environment where learning flourishes. Christine's versatility and dedication to her craft have been evident in the many roles she has filled at SIS. She was the language arts coordinator for many years, and she played a vital role in shaping curriculum and fostering the love for reading and writing among her students. Christine was also not afraid of challenges. She overcame her hesitation of integrating technology and becoming an integral member of our technology team. Her willingness to embrace new tools and strategies has empowered both herself and her students. We would like to thank Christine for her incredible dedication to her students and her unwavering support to their success. And we congratulate Christine Vita on her retirement this evening. Also at SIS, George Claiborne is retiring after his second career as well of retirement. George has been across our district, and his commitment to students and his tireless efforts have made a significant impact on their lives for years. He's been in all 4 of our buildings. He's played an integral role in supporting those students. And when you talk to the students he works with, they always say he's nice, he's cool, he's fun, he likes Sonic characters. So every day he comes in with a smile, and the students are always looking for him and his support. So on behalf of the entire school community, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for his years of service and dedication and congratulate George Claiborne on his retirement.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to honor 2 retirees from Somers Middle School, Karen Rustad and Mary Sensamichi. Karen couldn't be with us this evening, but Karen started in the district in 2007. She was a teaching assistant mostly in the 6th grade, and I think she could be described as kind, caring, helpful, hardworking. She really understood that the transition to the middle school, while just across the parking lot, could be challenging for students. And she provided the support that they needed in September while fostering that independence to help them become more self-sufficient as the year went on. We'd like to thank Karen for her years of service, and we wish her the best in retirement. Thank you, Karen. Now I get the pleasure of speaking about Mary Sensamichi. Mary started as a sub in the district in 2003, was appointed as a part-time monitor, and then a full-time teacher aide. She's worked in all 4 buildings. She's been a teacher aide in the district for 10 years and has helped countless children find success at every level. Mary's hardworking, reliable, efficient, independent, and student-centered. She goes out of her way to help any student she sees who needs support in the classroom or around the building. Most recently, Mary was a one-to-one aide for a student at SMS. I asked that student what words she would use to describe Mrs. Sensamichi, and this is what she shared with me. Mrs. Sensamichi is kind, sweet, caring, and helpful. She helped me with science and math and helped me learn about SMS. She also said that she misses you. I know Mary provided a sense of safety and comfort for both that student and her family. She helped this young lady make the transition to SMS, helped her not only get by, but thrive in her classes, and helped her make social connections to other students. But when I think of Mary, I think of the smile she gives you whenever she sees you. She was meant to work with kids. Even on the worst days, she has that smile that makes those around her feel like it's going to be okay. I consider myself lucky to have worked with Mary. I think the students she's worked with are lucky too. Mary, I wish you all the best in retirement. I thank you for all that you've done for our school and for our students. You'll be missed.
While Mary is making her way across the stage, I just wanted to add a comment about one of our retirees who I've had the pleasure of knowing for the last 11 years. One of the things that was, although Phil did an incredible job capturing Teresa's contributions, one of the things that is unique about Teresa Rita, as a school district, we know that we have all faced over the years, sadly, many, many tragedies. Our families have faced tragedies. Loss of loved ones, and Teresa has had the unique ability to always know the information and has always been the first one to reach out during the most difficult time that a family has faced. And so personally, I want to just say, Teresa, thank you for being that source for all of us, and especially for the families who were most in need, for being there to support them. So we have 4 retirees from the high school, so I'm going to ask the 3 that are here to please come join me a little closer. I promise I showered today. Before I talk about them, though, one member of our faculty who is retiring after 26 years, Damus Boyer, could not be here today. My joke was going to be, if he was here, Damus, Boyer, no one knows how to say his name, but I'm pretty sure after 11 years I got it right. It is Damus Boyer. Damus joined us in 1997 and started his career in the district as a science teacher at SMS first for a few years before moving to the high school, where he has taught physics for the last 23 years. During his tenure in our district, Damus has had a profound impact on countless students through his passion and enthusiasm for the teaching of physics. He puts the fun in physics. There is no fun in physics. He finds it, and he helps his students find the joy as well. I can say that. When the high school applied to become an IB World School a couple of years ago, we needed someone to teach IB Physics, a brand new course to all of us, and Damus stepped up to the plate, proving that he was willing to do what was needed to support our students and our school. On behalf of all of us at SHS, I want to thank Mr. Boyer for his 26 years of service and congratulate him on his retirement. Next, we have Barbara White. Barbara White joined the high school in 1998, first as a aide before moving into her current position as a campus supervisor. Barbara has done so many things in her 25 years at the high school, including monitoring our in-school suspension room, helping with our athletic enrichment program, where our student athletes work after school to improve their grades and regain their eligibility to play, and now working as part of our Student Life Center. The Student Life Center is a space that was revamped from a barely used senior lounge into a vibrant center of our student life. It is exactly what it is, a student life center. And one of the unique things about Barbara is that space is a model of inclusion. We have students from all walks of life come together, and one might look and say, well, they're just playing video games, or they're playing board games, or they're eating lunch. But what's truly happening is that those students are learning valuable lessons in socialization, relationships, friendships, and often many of those students have difficulty with some of those socialization skills. And Barbara is there to support them, to help them in moments where there is conflict, and to always make sure that they are welcomed with an open arm and a big, bright smile. So on behalf of all of us, Barbara, thank you for your 25 years of service to Somers High School. And next we have Mike McDonald. So Mike joined us in 1996 and is celebrating 27 years of working within the Somers Central School District as a special education teacher and English teacher. Michael has worked in a variety of classrooms over his 27 years at SHS. Over that time, he has seen our special education programs morph and change as we have sought to best serve our students who have special needs. At each step, Mike demonstrated flexibility and adaptability as he altered his instructional approach to meet the needs of his students. As an inclusion teacher, Mike has worked in all 4 academic areas, supporting students as a consultant teacher and as a co-teacher in all 4 of those areas. As a certified English teacher, Mike has taught our special class English classes along with our special class math, and has been a co-teacher in a very wide variety of classes, including, those around long enough know, we had Math A, Math B, Algebra 2, English 9, English 10, Geometry, English, Global 9, Global 10, U.S. History, and Earth Science. A rarity among special education teachers, Michael is definitely a jack of all trades, but he is also a master of all of those. His teachers have come to rely on him not only for his expertise in the areas that they're teaching, but in his ability to break down the information for students so that they can find success. One of the hallmarks of Mike's tenure here in the district is his connections that he makes with students. Mr. McDonald is behind them all the way. He believes in them and is their champion, something that is so vital for students who often find school very difficult. As evidence of this, we have a former SHS student who is now a parent with high school age children who often comes back and visits teachers that had an impact on him. And every time he does, he will remind us that Mr. McDonald is on the top of that list of teachers who he wants to visit. With this individual, we recently spoke to him. He recalled that Mr. McDonald was by far one of his favorite teachers, and that he was the reason that he got through high school successfully, and that without Mr. McDonald, he would not have made it through. A true testament to the educator Mike is. This sentiment is shared by so many students over the years. Mike, your impact on the students of Somers High School has been profound, and tonight we say congratulations on your retirement, and we wish you the very best. All right, so now we get to 53. You have to start to wear glasses. I'm going to stop struggling trying to read the words. All right, so last but not least, Christine Drysdale joined us in 2007. Hired first as a permanent substitute at SMS, then serving in several leave replacement positions, Christine moved into a full-time position teaching English in 2010. After a couple of years at the middle school when they started to see a decline in enrollment, Christine then joined us in the English department at SHS in the fall of 2013, where she has been since. A valued member of the English department, Christine saw a need to further support students in their writing, not only for their English classes, but across all content areas, and proposed and implemented a brand new writing center at the high school, something that, while standard in most colleges and universities, is a very rare thing to find in high schools. Since establishing the SHS Writing Center in 2015, Christine has developed it into the vital program that it is today, helping hundreds of students each year in all sorts of writing, including college essays, essays for English and social studies, as well as presentations for all of their classes. A few years after that, Christine had an itch and decided to go back for her master's in library studies, and in short time took over as our library media specialist in 2019. Christine has been an invaluable resource for countless students throughout her tenure here in the district, but also for her colleagues who have come to count on her for professional learning around effective writing strategies, media literacy, and research. When we became an IB World School, Christine put her expertise to use as she assumed the role of our extended essay coordinator, where she has helped train supervisors as well as work with dozens of diploma candidates to help guide them in writing their own authentic research paper. While we are not officially saying goodbye to Christine, since she will be back next year in a part-time fashion, I do want to thank you, Christine, for your 16 years of dedication and service to the Somers Central School District, and for all the support that you've provided to so many students, your colleagues, and myself. Best of luck to you, and enjoy the time following Christopher around on the golf courses of Latin America. Congratulations.
Cindy Russo, if you can come on down. Hello, Cindy. Tonight I have the pleasure of speaking about Cindy Russo. She was a senior account clerk for the district for just about 28 years, all of which was in the business office. There's also another member of the business office here, Kathy, who has worked with Cindy for almost 15 years. I'm not sure if she's here to show her support or to make sure that it's official. Thank you. Cindy would often threaten us with the last few years that she would be retiring. Kathy would pretend to be happy about it. But I think when that day finally came, I speak for myself, I think I speak for Kathy and the rest of the business office, it was a very sad day for us. Cindy had her hand in many different areas in the business office: accounts payable, accounts receivable, budgeting, fund balance projections, grants, and the list goes on and on. For those of you who got to work closely with Cindy in the business office, I can still hear sometimes the shouting coming from that side of the office. Chris, I need you. Quite often. Even in retirement, though, as Cindy retired earlier this year, she's still been very helpful to me and the person that ultimately replaced her. I often text Cindy for questions and suggestions, and she always answers the call and has come in a few times to assist as well. Cindy has a heart of gold. She's going to be truly missed. She has been missed. It was a big void for the business office and for the district. I'm very happy for her, and I wish her nothing but the best in her continued retirement.
Okay, board, if it's all right, we'll just take a quick break and we'll get the screen set up for the next part and just say hello to the folks as we transition here a little bit. So we'll take a couple-minute break. So thank you, sir. All right. Thank you very much, board. Again, we are in these last two meetings here in the auditorium, in the auditorium here at the middle school. So we'll do our best with the projection system this evening. Board does have that in front of them here. So, but again, thank you so much for giving us time. We did, kind of add some elements of our educational envelope here tonight with the music program and the science research program and some of those. So thank you very much for the expanded time this evening. Really, our next piece here tonight is our last and final element of excellence that we have here this evening. This is on the global citizenship piece. So as the board will look at their adjusted calendar for next year, this will be coming a little earlier. It was just one of those pieces that we were able to get into this school year. So this will be a little bit earlier in the spring moving forward. So that is a piece we'll be looking at. So we'll go ahead and drop into that first section here so you can look at the different areas as far as the global citizenship component looks like. So one of the components I'd ask you to kind of look at is, again, just take a second. You can look at the different visuals that you would have there. Hopefully, that idea about, picture tells 1,000 words. You can get a general sense and a hope and a desire of what we're doing in our schools to support students' global citizenship. One of the areas that we certainly have talked about and is tied right to our overall district elements of excellence, you'll see, and this is an updated goal area from the beginning of the year. And this, again, is the hope and the desire of this living and actually growing document throughout the year. And this is our first go-around at such a comprehensive look, I would say, is to have it really respectfully show what we're doing in the school. So you can just see some of the photos on the left-hand side there to celebrate, an understanding a broader perspective of others from the elements periodic table from the high school, where it identified, different individuals, some different backgrounds of element piece, and that was specific to Black History Month that we celebrate in the schools. You can see different activities. You saw some of our world language teachers that are here this evening, celebrating different world languages pieces from our students in the service club activities and things. It just gives you a little sample of that. Again, developing a space of responsibility, belonging, and acceptance. Then over on the right-hand page there, you can see some of the areas where one of the pieces that we have been involved in has been in No Place for Hate, the Anti-Defamation League. And so when you look at that, those are samples of activities. Each school, underneath their school success plan from a global citizenship perspective, identifies school-wide, school student-driven activities that will be engaged in, be it from Unity Day at the middle school or human rights projects at the high school to Mix It Up Lunch to Find a Buddy at the Primrose campus and things. So you'll see, again, those are No Place for Hate activities. There's a short list down there, some other things where character chains, Unique Sweater Day, Upstanders, Be a Friend letters, Holocaust and Human Rights Education Center collaboration. So a whole myriad of different things. Those plans are developed, designed, and then sent to approval from the Anti-Defamation League to help us to maintain our recognition as a No Place for Hate school as well as school district. So that gives you the semblance of some of the things that have transpired there on a yearly basis. And so then as we would head off to the next page, we'll see if our audio works tonight, Chris. If we have to go old school, there we go, bend the mic. Thank you very much. We have, again, a key part of our work that we have been, we heard a little bit tonight from our world language team, and actually Mr. Baird mentioned one of our science teachers helped us out with our inaugural IB physics course, is moving towards an IB Bachelor School District. And so if you look at tonight, you'll just see two short video clips. On the left-hand side is our 8th grade students who piloted this year the first NYPI community project. The intent is all 8th grade kids next year will go ahead and do that. So we'll just give a quick snapshot, especially for some of those folks who didn't get a chance to see that. So we'll see if our audio works here. So thanks, Chris.
Great. Maybe not.
No pressure.
Yep. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again.
I think it's just
Think about, once we realized that we wanted to do something that involved music, we had to think about problems in our community that had to do with music. And one of the main problems that we found was that not everybody has access to instruments.
We thought a good way to do this would be to have a musical instrument drive, and from there we could donate these instruments to people who would need them.
Once these people receive the instruments and learn how to play them for about a year or so, we would contact them and see if they would like to hold a concert for people in hospitals or nursing homes.
I think this project, unlike others, can actually change our community for good, and an next change can help change our community, bring joy to other people, and through that we can bring the joy of music to those who don't have it.
Thank you, Chris. One of the things in there, so this group is the 8th grade class, and so when they get to 10th grade, we would have anticipated that the mid-years program for 9th and 10th grade will have been accredited. We hope that this will also be our first group at 10th grade that will help us with the initial pilot there, because 10th grade you also have to do a personalized project where all 10th graders do that. And actually the Learning Office is working together this summer with our mid-years program coordinator at the middle school and our mid-years program coordinator at the high school with our science research teacher. And the hope and the intent there is that the project-based learning and that ability for us to connect would allow us to go ahead and have students who could use that initial thinking about their projects and their science research also could meet, at least crossover heavily with their 10th grade mandatory project they have to do there. So they're going to be working together. So students actually in 8th grade moving forward, hopefully the structures and the systems that they have there will align. So if they choose later, it'll certainly work for a 10th grade MYP as well as their science research project. So some of that continuity and the connection between those create a stronger coherence for the kids. So the Learning Office is actually starting on that project this summer as one of the learning activities for the summer. So, and then we'll just jump to the high school and we'll go ahead and give a little bit of sense of just students' kind of thoughts about their IB diploma experience from kids at the high school.
When I was first learning about the program, the first thing that immediately was evident to me was the sort of inquiry-based learning. Like there's no correct answer to a problem. It's very research-based, very individual-based, and that's something that was very appealing to me, very appealing to a lot of my peers in the IB program, and that absolutely stood true. I learned so much. My writing skills have improved by tenfold. And it's just been an amazing experience, and the friends that you make and just the skills that you learn how to ask good questions.
I think two of the really big reasons and kind of the reasons that influenced me to join the diploma were, one, I wanted to improve my critical thinking skills, and somewhat similar to that, improve my writing skills. And the IB diploma places a much bigger emphasis on critical thinking and writing, as opposed to other routes that may focus more on short answer and multiple choice. And I thought that was really important for me because it's a good skill to have, and especially in my college career and in my professional career, it's a skill I need to have. So working on it now was something that was really important to me.
I really like the IB diploma because of the college acceptance rates. That was one of the first things that stood out to me. And then as I continued to research, I was really impressed by the curriculum and how we no longer looked at education from like a one-dimensional perspective. We started acknowledging that there are multiple perspectives and there are multiple right answers. And I really liked that answers were no longer black and white. Definitely time management. I've written a lot of papers. And also conducting my own research. I think that's the thing that stuck out the most, was learning how to collect data from all different subjects, whether it was in my sciences, in my history classes, even in my English class, learning how to collect certain parts and create an argument based on what I'm collecting in my own research.
Thank you, Chris. So then, as we would just go to the kind of last page in here in this area about global citizenships, hopefully we've seen the activities that students do across their buildings, across the districts to support the embracing of all, and then talking to the students how they learn about others and self-discovery there. And then the last piece is on student engagement. So what we've identified are the ABCs of student engagement, A being affective, and B behavioral, and C cognitive engagement. So what you're seeing here is that, again, this is a framework. The theory of our framework here is that we're committed to increasing those areas where the research would tell us very clearly that by having students who are engaged in our schools in all three of those areas, they are more likely to exhibit positive behaviors such as coming to school, engaging in the schoolwork, being involved in extracurricular activities, following along with school rules, taking leadership roles, versus if they're not engaged, affective behavior, cognitive, you will see the lack of attendance will drop, the disciplinary actions will actually increase in a negative perspective, students' retention in schools will also decrease, their desire or access or interest to desiring more challenging coursework will also decrease. And frankly, their long-term social emotional health for themselves and their earning power will also decrease. So whilst I don't have a unique study for us, there's just body of research that tells us very clear if we do that well, the end result is going to have students who are connected and do have positive social emotional wellness. They do challenge themselves to higher academic experiences, which have a lifelong impact. So one of the things that we look at here is the affective engagement. So these are a sample of questions from our children, the secondary level. So again, close to people in my school, I feel like I belong, I feel I'm safe. There's an adult school I can talk to about my problems and pieces. So those are some initial indicators that we would look at. And so one of the things I know that we're really focusing on, I mentioned it last time at our last CWAC meeting, we spent some time talking about student and community and belongingness. And so whilst, yes, 90% is a strong number, yet 10% of the students are telling us they're not feeling connected there. So whatever, if the school is 1,000, that's 100 kids who are not describing that they feel belong and connected to school. That belongingness is so critical. We spent some time that evening with our CWAC group talking about if I don't know or feel that I belong, what ends up happening is I'm in a situation, whatever it may be, in the classroom, on the athletic field, in the band room, wherever, in the lunchroom, if I'm working word, say, do I fit here or not, my executive functioning is really taking over to help me think about what should I say, how should I act, how should I behave exactly, and kind of being very critical. So your ability to engage maybe in academic behavior or social behavior is negatively impacted. So that's a piece we see now, and moving in the forward years, we're going to continue to work on that affective engagement. Again, it's a strength, but how can we create more opportunities, and then working with our adults so we know that kids know our adults are somebody you can talk to as well too. Safety obviously is a key piece there. Again, so that's a piece that we look at that in fact, affective engagement. So viewing this as kind of a baseline assessment of where we've got, because with COVID and stuff, we were just knocked out of kind of doing, student feedback surveys for a little bit. So coming back online. Behavioral engagement, these are self-reported indicators from students. What we do see, frankly, though, when we look at, students will make missteps in the classroom and those kind of things, but when you get to a level of suspension, in-school, out-of-school suspension, it's about 97% of the students are doing fine with those kind of that code level of conduct, where you do have a small 2% of kids who may have in-school suspension or something like that. So you're talking about a very small number of students overall. So again, we're seeing that kind of aligning. What we're seeing, not that the kids aren't going to have some course correction along the way, but to that level of where there's something involved in there. And then cognitive engagement. One of the ways, again, we look at there is that one of the questions is, I'm getting a good education at my school. That's from the kids, and that was their perspective about getting a good education at school. The bottom, I did note that two things. If you'll see in the right, the picture there of our graduating class of 2022. So of that class, 72% of those children took at least one AP or IB class. What I do want to mention is that that number has significantly grown over the last 4 years. What has also happened is our performance for students on the AP has basically stayed the same. 3 or higher typically is considered a proficient score. That number has gone up significantly, but the draw has been 81% to 81% of kids that still perform there whilst it's gone up. Actually, and these are from earlier in the report we reviewed back with the 21st century knowledge and skills, you will also see whilst the numbers have gone up for IB significantly, the performance, frankly, pre-COVID was about 55 to 60% of kids met a 4 or higher as we started the program. Now post-COVID, we're at 79% last year that scored, whilst we've almost doubled the amount of kids taking it. So here's you're at, a lot more kids taking it, and we've held our own as far as performance goes, and frankly, we've improved it in the IB area. So again, the ability for us to bring more kids in and keeping it at a high performance level. And then the piece that we have there is, where did kids go? About 89% wanted 2 or 4 year colleges, and then 11% pursued their piece off into the workplace or education, things like that. Again, it's noted earlier, I guess I would say the end all, the major pieces here. Do our children graduate here from school? We have a 96% graduation 4 year, 99% over 6 years. And so as we look at what indicators lie underneath there, where are they going to school? Are they going to the workforce? Are they telling us they're getting a good education? Are they taking advanced coursework? Is this disaggregated across different groups? So as the board received my kind of update on what we're identifying as the Excellence for All report last week, It will replace this meeting in June next year. That's where Excellence for All would be. This will be like in March. So your board has the ability to look at that and disaggregating it across and seeing where are we seeing, under or representative in areas, and what and how can we help support that area. And so that's a piece that we've had there. So we'll be looking at bringing that back in the fall just so we can review last year's, but moving forward will be each June. So that's one you have there. And then the last piece, just the class of 2021, the group that graduated the year before, which was about 90%, 94% of those went back to college in year 2. So their stick-to-itiveness, their kind of retention there stated of 94% went back to university the following year after they did their first year. So just to let you know again, how do we know if these things are working? Those are some, I would say, very clear indicators of our students who are identifying that they're getting a quality education. They're going after our more challenging coursework. And again, we're looking at breaking down some barriers and other opportunities to create as much as we can, at least if we can get to every student or just about every student having either an AP or an IB experience. That's our hope and desire. You heard the kids in the video say, wow, I walked in, research and reading and write. I mean, it's all of that. I'm researching English class. It's just those skills that will come out of there. So that was the kind of the last piece that we had to bring down, that global citizenship piece. And that'll kind of close our first edition of our Forward and Excellence report. Next year, we'll do the same thing. We'll build kind of element of excellence at a time. And what we'll be looking to do, Ms. Bergen and myself, kind of will be looking at working with our local paper with the record. And so when we put a chapter out there at a board meeting, we'll follow up subsequently with some page, quarter page, whatever in the Somers record. So we'll go ahead and do that. So as riveting as these meetings are, I know everybody's not tying into them. Hopefully we can do that. And they've already developed a QR code and things like that as we talked at the board table last time. So it'll be there. Hey, look, click on here so you can go hear the kids talk like we did tonight. You can hear our community speak and things about what's going on in the schools. You can talk. You can hear the teachers speak about it. So that's the intent about doing a dive and not just being a 2D report. That was the added value we hope to do in here. Hopefully the board sensed that a little bit. And then in the future we can have the community, hey, read this excerpt. Now click here and go hear what the kids in the community and the families have to say. So I don't know if there's any other wrapping up questions, but again, the piece I want to leave is that the board does have that disaggregated information across those across the Excellence for All piece, and then that will replace the June report next year because this goes in earlier. There's just no way we could have kind of tried to knock both these into the one meeting. So.
And just clarifying that Excellence for All part that we had to look over that next year we'll have at this meeting.
Yes.
That's got some of that accountability of some of the things that in the DEI policy, the board is accountable for looking at equitable access. Yeah. And
absolutely.
So a lot of the data that we're supposed to be reviewing each year is in there.
Thank you for saying that better than I did. Thank you. And the hope is to get that in September. We come back and just let the board know, hey, this is last spring's, bring it to the community space, here's where we're at, but we'll have a new updated one in June again. So again, when we disaggregated that across the piece, again, it's descriptive statistics, so it's where we're at right now. The reality is I, as much as I've liked to, I've dove in a few times to go ahead and drag causal relationships in some things. Every time I get to it, something else comes aligned. So we'll have this we'll have to speak about that a little bit, is that certainly we do that, but is what we're doing, you may recall the one where I'd identify the IP, AP enrollment. Is that percentage, within an upper or lower control limit there? And we just broke that threshold to get outside the upper control limit. So we believe we're going to do it again. So I think we can go ahead and set a new range. But that's one of many things we would like to examine and explore to see if we were having those, inferential statistics that are actually having an impact on what we're practicing to do. It is a sophisticated structure that the school is looking at. Trying to ascertain is this program or this piece having the impact. I would say very clearly we're seeing that here. And so as we walk through that, we hope to go ahead and bring some more of that piece to it. Right now, it's based upon a body of research that you put this in place should be good, but it helps locally. Are we doing it, whether we can adjust it? So, but much better said, yes. And our hope is to expand that out to include, but right now it certainly talks about even like the area from the Board of Education. So what incidents involving bias are in there, and so how do we break that out a little bit and stuff like that. So that's a piece we'll hope to work on, and actually we'll be continue work with our SEAT committee next year and getting some feedback on that reporting mechanism. So thank you.
So Ray, where would folks in the community find access to this whole beautiful composite report of our district? Is it readily available on the front page of our district?
Yes, and actually for my Friday notes, Amanda and we'll put in my Friday notes, so that'll go to the inbox where everybody gets that. And then as we move forward, as we talked last time, how can we help cascade it across the community? Actually, Nancy and Amanda are working on doing some hard copies of this. So Amanda's going to kind of float around town and put please read only in, doctor's offices and, hair salons and post office. And so people can pick it up and just see it. So we're going to have hard copies out there like that. And then we'll use the digital. And then we'll also have it available on the segments of it next year, cascading through the year. As board goes through it, then we'll follow it up with a snippet of it in the newspaper.
It might be nice if you identify some of the kiddos who are in the photos and you send it to their parents saying, hey, check this out. And also we want to share that we're celebrating your kid in this section of XYZ.
I'll have to check with Amanda. She's much smarter than I am, so she may have done that, but I'll check with her because it's lovely seeing yourselves and stuff. So it's a proud moment. So yeah, very good.
Kids would get excited.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks. Yep.
And this is an entirely new report that did not exist last year.
No.
I just wanted to say that loudly.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Anyone
Nearest one I could find was in Dallas. I think it was in the Dallas School District, which has 200,000 people or something. So,
yeah, it's a good comprehensive if you really want to see what's going on here and know where the data is coming from.
yes. Yeah, and I truly think just in the next evolution, like anything, the second and third time around, it'll just round itself out, get a little bit better, get a little tighter. Hope becomes part of our conversation at the board table. So this is when those reports come out to the board, it's an output piece, then we'll be able to see that here. So it'll align with the goals that the board helped establish. Remember, this year we've walked in with 4. We had 2 more goal level boards, one on community, family engagement piece, and then one on fiscal stewardship. So those are the kind of overarching goals are there. So now we'll be able to hit those running right in the beginning of the year. So,
and it gives people sort of a pathway to know what to look for, right? And I think it also helps guide the board to say, here, this is how we're going to walk through the entire school year. Here are the programs that we're going to look towards. I think it's a really nice roadmap for all of us, just to say, here's where we're going, here's where we started. I wonder if you would keep a repository of former years, someplace where folks could see them and then compare.
we should have them all up online there for us, and so they should be able to get them. Just here's last year, here's the new one, and so again, I'll appreciate the board here, and I'll give the feedback to my colleagues who've done so much work
You'll
on
have
here.
them on EBSCO. We'll be able to search
yeah,
them
yeah.
on GoQuest. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
I do appreciate it. I think reading through it tells a good story. You read through it and you know something. You know an awful lot about our district and what it's doing, what it stands for.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Questions? No? All right. So it looks like we have moved to, thank you for the presentation. Let's move to the committee and liaison reports. I don't know if any of the folks from committees would like to report back.
Yeah. Sorry.
Or we could just move right along to the financial reports, also fine.
I was just going to say we had our last CWAC meeting last week, which was great. I know Ray kind of touched upon it when we were discussing that piece of the Forward and Excellence report, but I also just kind of wanted to reiterate because it was great we really discussed the meaning of belonging and fitting in, and it wasn't just like adults at the table, it was students at the table too, which I thought was so wonderful. And to hear their perspectives and hear our perspectives as parents, and it was just a wonderful conversation. And I thought it was just so great because if you really think about it, kids, spend half their brain space on like worrying about if they're belonging. Do they belong in this room? Am I okay in this room? They're missing the lesson and they're not ready to learn. And I think that's such an important thing that our school district has really kind of focused in on, along with the executive functioning pieces and moving that forward. And I think it's a really great thing that you recognize it's not just about, okay, you have to learn 2 + 2 = 4. Like, you also have to make sure that the kids are sitting there ready to learn. And so it was a great last meeting, and I look forward to, the committee next year and keep it moving. So,
thank you, Minda.
Policy committee, and Chad and Aoife, you can jump in if I leave something out, but responsive to board request, we just had looked at our public comment at board meeting policy, and then also we started looking into the concept of a social media policy for the district. So when we looked at, we're going to be sharing out with social media. It's a pretty big, daunting task. There's not a set template to use. We looked at them from a bunch of other districts, and so what we decided would be the best way to tackle that is that we're going to be sharing out all the samples that we had to look at with the board, and over the summer, letting everybody with leisure look through them, pull out the parts that you think are the most relevant for our district and most important to consider, and then share those back with the policy committee so that next year we can get to work on shaping our own social media policy with what works and makes sense for Somers. And then the public comment one, we looked again at a bunch of different, what are the standards? We talked with legal counsel, and basically our policy is sound the way it is. It's comparable with what the standard practice is, and I think maybe there may be a few little just clarifying language tweaks, but that's all.
Yep, I agree. With the social media piece, I would just add NISPA does not even have a sample. They don't have one themselves. So we'll have to evaluate.
I was surprised you were considering, because I know that before you had said that there was not an example that we might look towards for the state level, so that was surprising to me, not on the committee this year.
Yeah, right, but a lot of districts do have them.
There's
a lot of districts have
number
them.
of districts that have them.
Do they vary widely?
Oh, very widely. So, we'll have to see what we want to do. It doesn't mean that we have to have one.
It came up at that Ed Law webinar that I had that was sponsored by NISBA or Westchester Putnam, either one, School Board Association. And they talked about the importance of having something in place so that you can, especially just to make sure that between students and employees and boundaries, and it's important. So I'm glad that you guys are looking into it.
Yeah,
So.
it's going to be a sort of a ongoing project. It's not going to be one shot, I don't think, because the technology is advancing, and so many apps that's created. So we just have to follow and keep tweeting.
Well, then there's definitely developing case law on it, so I think it'll be an interesting discussion. But if you need me to share that slide deck again with you guys, let me know, because it's somewhere in here.
Thank you. Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The safety meeting was postponed to this Thursday, so nothing to report yet?
Yeah, tomorrow. Oh, it's
Thursday, I think.
Thursday, yeah.
Today's Tuesday, so 2 days. Okay, so we move to the final financial reports. We are in receipt of the financial reports, and we move to the minutes. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, having received copies of the minutes of the meetings of 5:30, hereby approves the same motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Excellent. Okay, so we're in board action. The personnel consent agenda. Be it resolved that this Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby approves the attached personnel agenda. Motion?
So-
Go ahead, I
Yeah.
have two
Second.
questions, sorry. 7,
Sorry, did
8
we have a second?
Oh, it's
Second.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
excellent.
you said
Yep,
second.
Sorry,
carry on.
thank
I
you.
don't know who.
Don't even know the protocol.
Just want to make
after all
sure,
these years.
Nancy, right?
It's my last day, too.
Took a while.
Okay, quick question. 7A, it says approval of the creation of the following athletic extra pay. It's co-curricular, correct? Just making sure.
7A.
7A is the co-curricular.
By A, where it says athletic, it means it's supposed to be co-curricular. I just saw it right now. I just caught it. Right?
Oh, yeah, it says
Yes, right,
following
'cause the other one is
extra
athletic.
pay positions,
Right,
but they're
yeah.
co-curricular.
Not that it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones underneath that category
clerical
are
error.
athletic.
Yeah,
they're
right.
actually-
I just saw it, that's all.
Good catch.
Yeah,
Good
thank you.
catch.
No, it's a late catch.
Excellent.
And the question, can you explain the middle years program coordinator? Because I know we're doing so much work on the middle years program.
Sure.
Just the intention behind the coordinator role and the additional stipend, because I think the individual is not full-time. Just to explain.
Yeah, so the mid-year stipend, both for this campus, again, middle years, it's kind of our middle years, we think, in the United States, but middle years through IB is 6 through 10. So you have the 9, 10 at the high school, and here, really what that is we're continuing to see how to think about the middle school. We had actually a very lovely conversation with some parents earlier in the year about wanting some evening opportunities to learn about the program, what MYP is, and how to be involved in that. So it gives us the opportunity to have like evening programs for parents and for kids. Also has an opportunity for those folks to be able to be involved in particular when we're doing our initial review here. There's a lot of additional time that needs to be taking place for initial review. And then year 5 review, they also will be in charge of working on helping getting the professional learning plans going for each one of the schools, because the middle years program, IB, is a strong, clear investment into teachers' professional learning practices. So they will help coordinate that work. Actually, both those folks are representing the district over. There's a district next to us this summer that's hosting an IB piece, so they'll help represent the district at the IB. So the reality is what we were saying, it was just there was an inordinate amount of activities they're doing for professional learning, for preparation for the IB, yet to be determined at the high school campus piece there, and then here at the middle school. They also are charged that we're looking at having them, they run after-school facility of monthly meetings with our International Baccalaureate kind of teacher leadership teams. They're not always 100% the same each year, but we got 8 to 10 teachers throughout the year who just keep that project moving forward. This individual is asked to coordinate that, so moving forward, that can be just part of their roles and responsibilities, as opposed to trying to say, hey, if it's after hours, then it's these many hours and things like that. So it kind of encompasses all of those things together.
With the anticipation that there's a lot of outside of the school day.
There is, yeah, and that's an example that in both our middle school and then the high school, we've seen that after-school piece. Frankly, I had not anticipated, was like, oh, we'll start that to begin with, but really it's been very evident that is an ongoing piece we need to have of teachers coming on board and saying, here's the next area we want to focus in on. So, like at this campus, they're really looking at assessment practices next. So that person will help drive assessment conversation throughout the school year on a monthly basis with that group, planning for that. And if there's opportunities for any professional learning, some of that comes via Zoom, or they'll also be in charge of like site visits when we go see best practices. There's also what's called the GIBS, which is the Guild of IB Schools. And so we'll go and visit other schools and say, hey, we want to go see what's happening in our literature and performance class. So that needs to be coordinated, and people need to go and to do that time. So we're asking somebody to coordinate all of that work as well. So it just presented itself as well as it's going. Also, they'll be intimately involved, and they're actually going to be working in the learning office this summer about updating our curriculum maps. So those reflect the structure and the profile of the International Baccalaureate program, and so they'll be working in that area as well too. So there's
just a point for the policy committee members here. I think this may be a item that the policy committee could look into. Define what is a sort of extra curriculum pay items or definitions. I think we certainly want to encourage lots of good activities for student activities, so on. But I think we should have a understanding, and we should have it mapped with our, goal, the excellence goal in mind. So something that the policy committee probably should study that a little bit is, here's our, categories we really encourage and develop as extra pay, rather than, comes and goes in a little bit of arbitrary fashion. I think this is becoming a significant budget item, and, I think it's probably deserves some attention.
So just a couple things with that. What I would say, one piece is just the definition of that is defined by our contract. We have hours that are in the contract. If anything happens outside of that time.
Right, but why the contract is necessary, it's should be driven from some policy.
I'm just saying the board has a contract, so if we go outside those hours, then that's where these pieces come on board.
The hours are procedure part. I'm talking philosophically, what do you support? Sports, there are tons of sports.
I'm not trying to translate for you, but I think, and please if I'm wrong, I think it's any extracurriculars or co-curriculars activity we are funding with the budget.
Exactly, yeah.
Does it further the mission of the summer?
Exactly.
I think is there some cohesion there?
Yeah. Excellent.
So with that,
you shouldn't quit. Continue.
She's not quitting. It's not quitting. If she has just time to go on to other. So with this, I'll go right back to the ABCs of engagement, because what you're looking at this evening is exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and get kids into school and that's why you do athletic programs. Mm-hmm. That's why you offer these extracurricular activities after school. That's why you offer student clubs and things. That's where, so I appreciate what you're saying. Now, my apology, I didn't pick it up the first time, is that those are directly really aligned to the affective, behavioral, and cognitive engagement pieces. So like we heard this evening with the DI group, destination mission, that's specifically there for kids to have a connection in our schools. They come. They want to be there. They're having a great time. So and then they're cognitively connected. So that's exactly where the majority of these line in. And then you have some like Mary Rose and I spoke about tonight, just leading the pack and leading the programs. But at any point in time, be happy to say, look, these are there because, and you will see. And sometimes we just have to watch it. So like every year at the high school, there's either 2 or 3 that just don't have enough interest at that point in time. So they'll kind of take them offline, and then 2 or 3 more come online. So you will even see that what our process is at the high school, it's a 2-year process. So, hey kids, I want to do this club. Great. And so they try the club and they do it for 2 years, and then you have enough 2 years evidence, and then that's when the stipend comes on board in year 3. It may never get to that spot. So there's a kind of trying out period, and then we move forward. So I'd be happy to talk to it, but we're proud of this because we do see this as an integral part about creating better engagement with our
Once
kids.
we have a
Thank
clear
you.
definition, also we probably can have better accountability to follow.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I think you're
perfect.
just trying to
Thanks.
codify how each different extra
Exactly.
position lives within our overarching goals, and they can be fluid, right? I don't hear anything about not being fluid, right? I think
No.
that's a nice, even
Nope.
having in the policy that we have to make sure that for 2 years there's solid membership. I think
And that's what we have in the
fantastic.
practices. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if we can support, I think
Sure,
is what we're trying to do.
Remember that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Excellent. Sorry, did everyone
There were
aye?
enough ayes?
Aye.
Was there
Sorry.
enough ayes? Did we have enough ayes?
That was a
I want to
little
see all the ayes.
Aye.
Sorry, I wasn't being, sorry. Okay, CSE, CPSE, be it resolved that the Board of Education, having received copies of recommendations of the meetings as listed in the attached memo, hereby approves the same motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Business consent agenda, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby approves the attached business agenda. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Chris?
Just one item I just want to point out is the award of the construction management services for our athletic facility upgrades. We ended up sending in the request for proposal out to 4 firms, and we ended up getting 6 proposals back, so that was a good turnout.
Impressive.
And we are moving forward tonight with Triton Construction. They've been the construction management service company that's been working with us for quite a few years. Their proposal was great. Me and the architect for the district met with a few different firms and ultimately decided to recommend going with Triton again for this project.
So just for the folks who maybe aren't familiar with the way that the RFP process works, we end up selecting the lowest responsible bidder, right? The language is lowest responsible because we want to ensure that they're...
So with the RFP, with the request for proposal, not necessarily tied to the lowest submission. So there's a difference between a bid and an RFP. Bid, we go with the lowest bidder. RFP, we can...
But it's lowest responsible, right? It's not just the lowest bidder.
For
Because
the
somebody
bid,
can go-
for the bid.
Right.
RFP, there's other criteria that we look at, knowledge on specific projects that we're doing, specifically for this construction management service, knowledge of the district. Price is obviously always one of the highest factors when determining it, but it's not the only factor.
I'm just hoping that the folks in the community who maybe had questions about how we were awarding this understand what the selection process looked like.
Yep. And again, like I said, myself and the architect went through it, and ultimately, along with his recommendation, that's why we brought forward Triton tonight.
I don't know whether you have the information right now, but could you sort of expand on this Triton? I remember this name because we've been approving quite a number of Triton projects. Can you just tell us a little bit more about this company who sort of been working with us for a long time?
Yeah, so Triton's been been working in the district for, say, close to 20 years now. They were involved in the big project back in the 2006 timeframe. They were involved in our safety and security bond project, and then our $13.6 million project a couple years before that. Again, they provide the kind of all the on-site management with all the different construction companies that we're dealing with, whether it's electrical, plumbing, general construction. They help orchestrate all of those meetings and make sure that these companies are staying on schedule and and making sure that and then one of the other things that they do provide that they'll get started immediately is a cost opinion for the project. So we've had our architects give us a cost opinion on this upcoming project, and now Triton will also, because they're out in different districts and seeing different numbers come in, they'll be able to provide another updated second set of eyes kind of thing, which will then help determine exactly what we will be able to get out of this project. We're not going to include things if they're telling us there's no way we're going to have certain things. One of the big things that we've discussed with the different committees is the lighting on the different fields that we're not going to be able to do just because we just don't have the money for it. It's cost prohibitive. So, but they'll get started on that cost opinion, and then we're still waiting for SCD approval for the project. Once we get that, then we'll be able to go out to bid and really see how much we're going to be able to get out of this project.
We're happy with their performance, right?
Yes, very happy with what they've provided to the district over the years. I'm still calling them for projects, and they've been out of the district now for maybe over a year or so with these projects, and I'm still calling them and asking them questions. So
nice that they're responsive even beyond
Yes.
the term of the project. Thank you. Okay, so all in favor of accepting the consent agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Excellent. So we are at the, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby approves a memorandum of agreement between Somers Central School District and the Somers Association of School Administrators covering the period of July 1, 2023 to July 30th, 2028. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Sorry, Chad, I keep forgetting to look at you. If you have a question, just
I know, no, I'll jump.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right.
I jump in.
All right, so last one. Be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes and empowers the superintendent of schools to execute the side letter of agreement between the district and Somers Schools related professionals, giving clerical employees the option of a shortened week during the summer, and that the superintendent is hereby authorized to take all action necessary to effectuate the terms of this agreement. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry, conversation, question, anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Excellent. All right, so we are at the final public comment. If anyone from the community would like to come and leave a comment. Okay. Folks, we have made it to the board member comments.
Hey, if it's
Board.
If it's okay, I wanted to start board comments.
Go ahead.
Very fitting tonight as we were acknowledging retirements. That we have 2 retirements we have to acknowledge on our board.
Right.
So,
Was I discreet?
Sorry, we're not celebrating. It's not a celebration.
Camera's off, just want to let you know.
So Lindsay and Mary Rose, you've been on the board for longer than all except for one trustee on here, I believe. So it's going to be hard to imagine sitting at this table without you.
You'll be okay.
But it changes every year. We have, and so we'll have a new start. But we're going to miss you guys being here and your wisdom. During that time that you've been on the board, this district has been through lots of ups and downs. There's been a lot of celebrations and there's been a lot of challenges. And having been on for most of the time with you, I appreciate your all the ways that you've challenged us and encouraged and pushed the district to be better and shared your intellect and everything. So that's my little part. So those of us that you're leaving behind have a little something for, make sure I'm giving you the right one. Have a little something for each of you to take with you as you go on to your next ventures. It symbolizes a little clarity and new beginnings. And we hope that
No tears?
come back.
You remember us?
I'm trying.
I don't know that anybody actually,
Yeah.
We're gonna, we will miss you. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
for
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
the 6 years of service.
I'll go out of order for a second, then I'll come back in. I just, same thing, just want to say thank you very much for the years of service, for the kids, for the community, for the faculty, administrators and things. Again, don't always know what the next right answer is, but it's always looking for it. And so certainly appreciate that. And as Heidi was saying, that, it's hard to believe that we collectively kind of went through this whole COVID thing. And I would say that I think our district, because of the support of the board and because of our community, we shine pretty brightly through that as best as we could. And so again, we'll take on the next challenge, whatever it comes our way, but again, challenging ourselves to get better individually and collectively, and then also thinking about what can we make it a better experience for our kids. Taking moments to celebrate like this evening, and then hopes and desires that we can have the next group of children having a better experience and things. And then even tonight, looking at, we've got a good strong number of kids say they belong, yet we wanted to have it be every kid. And so that's the piece where we're just going to keep going after it and until we get there, and then something else will present itself. So, but on the behalf of the administrative team, I did want to share with you a couple things. We have, you can frame these. These are actually from the Westchester Department School Board Association of thank you there. So we're for you, Lindsay, and hand that one down to Mayor Rose, if that's okay. And then just a...
I was hoping it'd be one of like the prank ones.
Nah.
Like
You're assuming it's not.
Most questions asked. Right?
Yeah. Oh, and
There's most questions asked?
Wow. No.
What a beautiful package.
Really
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Here's from
Thank
our
you.
administrative team, so...
Just don't what?
Don't shake it.
Don't change it?
Don't shake it.
Oh, I will not. Are there M&Ms in there?
So, yes, thank you again, and again, appreciate for everything to continue helping the district move forward in excellence, and that's our target, so thank you.
Back to the
I'm going to just
board
jump in
comment.
because we'll stay on this topic for a moment of the two of you.
Uh-oh.
And just want to make sure the time that you've spent, the volunteering, that doesn't go unnoticed and unappreciated. And I know it's at times been a lot. And you both have given tremendously, not only your time, but your thoughts. You've never been afraid to share your thoughts, to have discussions. I've never felt that with either of you, that you've not wanted to discuss something, and even when we haven't agreed, the discussion has always been really important, and you've both challenged a lot of things and created some good discussions that we've had, and I think we've had a lot of good things that have come out of this. And so I forgive you both for beating me in that one election, but I think it wasn't a
That's not what you wrote on your pad. I'm gonna say.
But I really appreciate both of you. Thank you. Enjoy the little bit of free time that you're going to gain.
Yeah, enjoy your
Until you
Tuesday
get on to
nights.
the next volunteer opportunity. Right?
I just want to echo what Chad said, and I mean, just as the new person on this board this year, even though I just got here, and I won't take that as a offense that you're both leaving now, but but I was a longtime lurker of coming to the meetings, and I've always appreciated your guys' viewpoints and perspectives and pushing the board, and seeing it from this side of the table. I know how much time gets put into this job, and it can sometimes be thankless, but I just want to say thank you for, volunteering all of this time and effort and service to make all of our kids have a great school district. So thank you, guys.
Okay. I'll say something before you two. It is a final or last meeting for the board this year or this semester or what, and there's lots of things we've seen.
We have one more.
Nice
okay.
I last in the sense that we really have meaningful things. We have so many honors, awards, okay, retirees, all these things that are happening. This is the last one that are most significant. And plus now this retirement of board members, it really makes people, moving. And I feel we should have a better audience. I'm speaking to the camera, to the television to tell, we have a beautiful auditorium here, we should have a beautiful audience. So somehow we should, maybe partly it's our own fault, we did not really create the event as an exciting and fun event to draw some audience, okay? Perhaps we should spend a few dollars, Chris, okay? And offer something. Draw the audience in here, and perhaps even run a last, raffle ticket at the end. Whoever stayed at the end draws wins a bigger prize, right? We do have few die-hard here, but I want the full audience.
Check under your
I want the
seats,
musicians to bring a band here to play or to make noise. We have athletic, people coming in to do little tricks, whatever. I think we should make this last meeting meaningful, and with all people that contributed, worked hard, retired, really remember this event, okay? And including, of course, the board members. And I want to add another thing that towards our today's agenda, and this excellent report is great, okay? We start something new, and also I think partly we thank Lindsay for actually pushing for this direction. And these indicators are useful, powerful things, okay? Right? It's really great. One thing I caution you, though, don't use 99% too many times, because it's not much to improve. Okay?
That's what the kid said.
So we will rotate or change or find the indicators that reflect improvement, progress, okay? So I don't mind to see a 50% indicator, but next year is 70%, okay? We don't have to have always 99%. So that's one thing on this report I think really is a good start. And speaking about global citizenship, I want to mention something a little bit selfishly. I just last week, because Christine is retiring from the library, I went to donate a few books of mine to the library for summer reading, and hopefully help kids to learn a little more about the global citizenship. Because myself, okay, I'm not a young person. I live here a long time, and I do sort of remember, understand how the society changes, the country changes, so on, and the global, the world is changing. And I write book, publish one book every year. It does take a lot of time, and I hope some of the things in there, you don't have to agree with what I wrote, everything, but it's actually information, because you can really learn something from these. That's my selfish point, but I hope our students will take advantage of them. I don't remember all the names of the books, title anymore, but it's 6 books. Go to the library, you can get them. Thank you. That's my comment.
Thank you, Ife. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I do have a few things to say because it is my last opportunity. My daughter is here to watch me, so I have to show off a little bit for her. I'm going to go out of order. Ray, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to push you in ways that probably made you uncomfortable, to be honest. And I think, we all come in with different experiences, perspectives, and we're coming with that one lens. And I think we've been able to have really difficult conversations off camera that people haven't seen. And I appreciate you allowing me, I'm gonna speak for myself, me to use my own experience to push things in Somers. So I'm grateful. I'm not gonna cry, I don't think. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I think really, on paper, I should not be sitting at this table. I'm an immigrant. My parents didn't go to college. I became a public school educator, but somehow people of Somers voted me in, and I'm grateful. I ran thinking that I want to make a difference for kids like my kids. I knew it would not impact my kids because my kids were older by then. So I was thinking, how do I use my 20 years of experience? And we knew what was happening in the country at the time. I was like, we got to do something. What can I do in my own role? And people said, try this. So I did this. Everyone would say, run for local elections. They matter more than national ones. You're going to make a difference. And I really believed it. Everything I read, I was like, this is my opportunity. I firmly believe this was the way to make a positive change. I believe that a B.O.E. diverse perspectives and lived experiences would help inform the governance and policy of a school district. I actually don't know if I fully believe that today. But we need people to believe that, so we have contested elections. Because if not, then you're like, it doesn't work, why bother? So we need people to believe in the possibility of that. We need people to run. And so we had people run this year, it was contested, and people won, and I hope they do good work. When I first ran 6 years ago with Lindsay and I were strangers, and actually people said to me, like, she's your competition. So we never even talked. But when we ran, there was an IBM executive, there's a lawyer, there's a finance executive, 2 homemakers. I never ran thinking I want to fill a perceived role on the B.O.E., but I had this resolute intention to do really good work. And I was trying to come up with a word that describes the work of a B.O.E. trustee, and Amanda said it's thankless. And none of us come in thinking, we want to be thanked. It's not the intention. There's so much that happens that's unseen, that's not what you see in public. Unseen hours of work and reading and debating and discussing, and it's not public. It's really volunteer work. I mean, it's a really, it's a job that you really are here because you care about the people that you possibly may impact. In this moment, I'm writing all these things because I really want to be clear on what I want to say, because most often we're just speaking off the cuff. A lot of our words get taken out of context. I don't need to defend Lindsay because she's a big girl and she's tough, but I do want to say she always advocated for others and pushed for transparency. She wasn't always nice, I will tell you that. There are times I'm like, girl, be a little nicer. But nice doesn't shift things. She demanded accountability, and her role as president made her the target of a lot of hateful rhetoric. I was actually scared for her many, many times. Knowing that she was not trying to divide, but was trying to lift up the underrepresented voices is important for the public to know. Giving grace to B.O.E. members who work countless hours voluntarily has to be part of the approach. It wasn't done. We were going through some tough times. I hope it's part of the approach. In writing these last comments, I looked at my reflections in 2017 when I was running for the B.O.E. I wanted 2 things, data-driven decisions and community and connectedness. I wanted to make sure there was transparency in the decisions that were being made, the evidence behind those decisions, like implementing certain programs. I think we were rolling out PLDs at that time, why are we doing this? Not that we should or we shouldn't, but how do we explain that to the public? I know that in my tenure, we pushed for more accountability and transparency in dollars spent and the impact of curricular programs. There's still a lot more work to be done, and I think we're doing it. I'm unclear on how much community and connectedness was achieved. If anything, I think we're actually more fractured than I ever would have imagined. I know we teach our students about their digital footprint. I'm no one to preach to the public, but if a prospective employer or college looked them up, we say, what would you want them to see about you? What would be your online presence? The same applies to our town. What would prospective homeowners or students see if they looked up Somers? What is the digital footprint of Somers? What are we saying online about each other, about our schools? Are we proud of what we've put out there? Just something to think about. My tenure on the B.O.E. included COVID, mask mandates, remote learning, rise of racism and anti-Semitism in the country. Schools were at the center of all these issues. We had to fix everything. B.O.E. members were a part of that work. We would hear about Chappaqua and Bronxville. I was actually one of the teachers from Chappaqua in the papers when it came to having students in schools every day. But Somers actually was one of those schools where kids were in school every single day. But people weren't writing about us, but I know we did the work. I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish during one of the most unsettling times of our lives. This does not mean there was no fallout after COVID. We are still juggling all of those things. We were all juggling the health of our loved ones, working, paying bills, and making sure our kids were being educated and then some. I know the parents of the young ones had it the hardest. I can't imagine the parents of young ones who were also teachers at the time. Crazy stuff. I'm so grateful to all the individuals who made it happen by coming in every day to keep the economy going, and that happened because of all of our teachers, so thank you. During my 6 years, both my daughters graduated Somers School District, and one actually graduated college this year and is ready to make a difference in the world as she uses everything she's learned from kindergarten to college through gainful employment. Both my children have a strong sense of social justice, and they work for the greater good. Their ability to think critically, of course, was supported at home. However, my daughters learned so much from teachers who provided opportunities and access to this kind of learning. Miss Sebastiana was the first educator we ever met in Somers. She was Rachel's kindergarten teacher. Now I celebrate her retirement. Miss Sebastiano laid some of the foundation that makes Rachel who she is today. I know her sense of environmental justice somehow got infused into Rachel because Rachel is so passionate about energy justice and environmental justice. I can't leave without thanking Ms. Gaudio for doing the same for my little Erica. Much of what is gained in public school education is through the access to opportunities. I'm going to name a few people, but there are too many to name. Coach Frank Catania gave my daughters a lifelong love of the sport of tennis, despite not having courts on campus. And to this day, we love him, and I'm forever grateful for that. Science Scholars is also one such program. Not the program, but it gave my kids access to opportunities. Access to read articles and research way beyond the level of a typical high schooler. Access to attend prestigious regional and international science competitions. Access to writing papers at the caliber of PhD scientists, and most often co-authoring some publications. Access to mentorship from experts in their fields. Access to presenting to experts and defending our work. I'm grateful for Mr. Melia, who provided these opportunities to our students at Somers, and grateful that both my girls experienced some aspect of that. And now Rachel will interview prep me because she's so good at this from science research. I'm grateful for community members like Mr. Blueglass, who's the WestSF president, who really did bring the love of science research to our community, and now we have the Somers Science Fair and WestSF and all these things happening here. So I'm grateful for community members like that. And I'm so grateful for programs that help them navigate this crazy world in a meaningful and productive way. And like I said, it doesn't stop there. Bus drivers who remembered when Eric would be not on the bus. Just knowing that somehow my kids were touched by all these adults, the list is too long. So I'm leaving so grateful that I've been able to learn about public schools from really all vantage points. I mean, who could have the experience that I've had? It's very few. So I feel very grateful, and I really hope that the work continues in a meaningful and positive way. Thank you.
Good. I don't want to follow that. I guess I'm not talking off the cuff. So I was never told that you were my competition. From the minute I met you, I thought that's somebody who's extraordinary, and if she happens to win this coveted spot, then she deserves to be there, and she will do stellar work, and I stand by that today, truly. I also wrote some stuff and things, but not a lot, I hope. Ray, you're laughing. So at first I want to say that I'm standing here with gratitude and a sense of purpose right now, today, because this is my final address, I believe, I thought, as an esteemed member of this esteemed board. And I say that not lightly. I say that with reverence and gratitude. When our family chose Somers nearly a decade ago, we sought a nurturing community that values the growth and curiosity of our children. As a lifelong researcher and cognitive scientist myself, I was thrilled to find a town that really respected parental rights and embraced community input into education. My initial goal when I joined the board was to enhance transparency, improve communication, and ensure accountability through evidence-based decisions. Sound familiar? Together, all of us at this table have made significant strides. I want to recount a couple of those, if I might, a couple milestones. First, we have established policy, communications, and planning committees where before there were none, actively reviewing and revising neglected policies which had not been revised, reread, or reconsidered in over 2 decades, with liaisons reporting in every public session to increase transparency, including this evening. So to the folks who are on these committees, who serve on these committees, I want to say thank you for sharing out the reports from what you're doing in committees to the wider public so that there is a sense of clarity and transparency in what happens behind closed doors, because there is quite a bit of conversation that people simply don't hear. I'm sure you're grateful to get rid of me in those conversations. So additionally, I wanted to share that we added another public comment session. It was introduced at the top of each meeting to give our community a chance to share their thoughts on agenda items, things that would come up in the meeting, so that we could hear from the community and it would help guide our collective decision-making process. I'm so proud of that. These small changes, I think, made a huge impact in our community and into our individuals who are taxpayers and have children in these schools, their ability to come and share their thoughts with us. During the challenging times of COVID, when school doors across the globe shuttered, Somers was among the first districts to reopen for hybrid and in-person instruction in the fall of 2020, thanks largely to our extraordinary administration and educators, and supported strongly by this Board of Education. So thank you. These events, all of them, directly responded to voices within our community, and they enabled their perspectives to help shape our path forward together. To our educators, I offer my deepest respect and admiration. I won't name names. Your dedication is truly the foundation of our educational system, and I mean that sincerely. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as a trustee on this board alongside you all. I am immensely proud of what we have achieved together, and I wish you all the best of luck in what I know is going to be great work ahead. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
All right, board, so I'll go ahead and just wrap up here. So again, thank you for the extended time tonight with the celebration at the end of the year. One of the pieces I did just want to go back to the personnel agenda. My apologies, I neglected to just pull out momentarily that we have identified our next assistant principal at SAS with Dina Miller. So I just wanted to say congratulations, Dina. So. And then we still have a few fun activities going on this week and next week and stuff. So we have a concert again tomorrow night, and another show on Thursday, and then we have some things next week. And we did readjust some field days. So again, just last week I had the whole thing with the air quality, and again, one more of those things. Who saw that one coming? And
good at that.
Yeah, so good. Canada, really? And so did that again. Teachers did a wonderful job of helping kids, be in a good place and where they need to be. Different levels of kids had different understandings and things. So again, the faculty did a wonderful job. We've rescheduled for the field trip here. 8th grade couldn't do it last week, so they're going to do Lake Camp House coming up and stuff. So again, everybody's just really just diving in to have it be as good of experience as we can for the spring. So we do have our graduation next week at the high school. And so, again, we'll send a reminder out again to the board, the timing and things like that. But as we anticipate, hopefully it'll be a wonderful, relatively cool day out on the high school's second turf field, or the first main turf field there, and we'll go ahead through that. But again, we have, just as you were saying before, our last meeting is kind of just fairly straightforward on a couple of things as we walk forward. So we'll get that going. And then once we move forward with that, we'll start with our as we do over every summer, whatever 1, 2, or board members we have on board, we'll go ahead and start bringing that into piece, so we'll start getting ready for the fall. And again, I do appreciate as you were walking through, Lindsay, the elements, and those are pieces that layer by layer, brick by brick, step by step, we're moving into the right direction. As much as I wish I could be there today, it's like, are we moving in the right direction? I wasn't a running back when I in school when I played football. You can maybe guess what position it was. It wasn't the fast ones. I can remember the running back coach would always say to the backs, he said, whatever you're doing, you have to have body lean, and you're leaning into the direction you want to go. And I absolutely have felt my 13 years here, we have always been leaning into the direction where we want to go. I haven't felt like we're heading into the wrong direction or we've been knocked down so hard. It's like even during the COVID piece, we knew where we wanted to go. We wanted our kids in school, so we wanted to help the families to manage whatever that meant for their lives. We were one of the few school districts to begin with. We had pre-K for first responders in our school district. I mean, so that's what we know we wanted, that's what we do. So we were leaning in the right direction. I absolutely believe we're continuing in the right direction. So thank you for helping with that lean to my colleagues who are leaving the board, and thank you to the rest of the board for helping that. So body lean, and we're leaning forward in excellence. So thanks, everybody. Good.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. Be it resolved that this regular meeting of the Board of Education be adjourned. Motion?
So move.
Second?
Oh, sorry. Second. Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained? Wow.
This one I
Biffed that
always
last
move
one.
fast.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, y'all.